This episode was the biggest, best finale so far because now we're all freaking hooked. We're really scared, but we're freaking hooked. While I'm so bitter about the ending and how it was done, I can't wait until they resolve all of this stuff. And they have so much potential to make it amazing, but they could also royally screw this up and lose over half the fan base. So be careful. The power is in your hands. For a lot of us, Supernatural is our life and one of the only things we look forward to. And a big part of that is Castiel. And I'm pretty sure the writers know about this after the whole #Where's the Angel? I'm pretty darn sure they know how important he is. So I can't imagine them not saving Cass. But overall, they did an amazing job hooking us and making us freak out. I'm going to go through the significant events in the 2-part finale. In order, we'll discuss and speculate what will happen next together. The first half of the finale had some major character building, amazing stuff. Dean opened up, and he actually got into his own deep feelings. In the past, he's tried to talk with Castiel about feelings, but never about his own. It's always been about other people's whenever he does open up and have chick flick moments. Dean admitted that their dad was complete shit. I mean, his actual words were, he was a shell of a man, but he was worse than a shell. Dean asked his mother to look at him, at really him, not just the hunter, not just a brother, a father, a mother. He asked her to look at him and really see him. And Dean got injured, so this happened.
I saw you. You ready for this? You show those sons of bitches who's boss. You got this. Come here. You come back. Promise. Bitch. Jerk. Yeah.
Sam is officially spreading his big, beautiful wings. I cried, I teared up pretty bad during this. Oh my god. Another thing, Jody is safe. I'm disappointed that Garth was only on the phone, but he still was kind of in the episode. So after this episode, I was hyped. I was like, boy, this is great. This is amazing. We're free. This is beautiful. This is good. This is all good. And then, as some would say, the shit hit the fan. Enter Castiel. He is with Kelly Klein, and it's a little weird. He's still not really acting himself because he's kind of been brainwashed by the baby. But we get so many adorable Papa Cass moments, it's unbelievable. He goes to a doula class and he bought all those diapers, even though it turns out that it's kind of useless and he doesn't ever need diapers, because even though he's not quite himself, it's just, he's so sweet. And we have Enter Crowley. I was like, oh sweet, he's alive again. He did that cool trick again. And he has this huge emotional talk about how he doesn't want to be the king anymore. And this is a pretty nice step for his character. I actually am very content with Crowley's part in this episode. He ends up sacrificing himself for the cause, and I feel like his story is complete, and I feel content with it. Whereas Castiel is another story. Some people are talking about how Crowley could come back because he was technically killed in the alt universe, and I think that would be really cool, seeing alternate version of Crowley if he is introduced, because I heard that he was signed on to season 13 by some people in panels, and that would be really cool, seeing him with the effects and the horns and stuff. That would be pretty cool. But I'm interested to see how his character would be, because he would obviously be completely different, because he never met the boys. He never had that human blood addiction. So his character would be completely different. But that would be really cool to see. So I'm looking forward to all that stuff. And while I was like, oh, dang it, when it happened, and I was sad, I was like, oh, at least we loved him. He was loved. I still get emotional every time I see Castiel's eyes glowing and his mouth glowing. It's just so wrong. Like,
No!
I prayed to God that this wouldn't have to happen, and it did. If you're interested, you can watch my aftermath video of actual real live reaction of what happened to me. I was in my Destiel Facebook group live, and theories just come rolling in like real fast. We've got 5 different working theories that how he could come back, how it could not be him dead. And so today we're going to talk about all that kind of stuff. What happened? This is the time we turn to fan fiction, folks. Fix all of our wounds. So first theory we have is that it's not actually our Cass who died. There's a few different ways to take it. My initial thought was the you that Castiel ran into was not just Bobby, but also Alt Castiel. Because Bobby says, I usually run down flyboys on sight, but you look different. I'm thinking maybe he could have run into Alt Cass before, and it'd have been different from the other angels, or maybe he's teamed up with Alt Cass and they switched spots. I'm thinking they most likely would have had to switch vessels because their vessels would have been worn differently with Cass becoming an angel so many times. And maybe even all angels have wings visible. That would be the dream. So the theory is that either when Castiel came running at Lucifer, it was not our Cass. There's many indications, like through the episode, Castiel acts a little different than usual. He scoffs and rolls his eyes when he has to heal Dean, which he's never done. He ignores the brothers' calls.
Cass! Come on! Cass! No, let's go! We gotta go!
And he just like runs past there like a little 4th season Cass-like. It's not like our Cass. Also, when we see Castiel's wings burnt into the floor, his wings look very different from the last time we've seen them. I'd imagine his wings got even worse since the last time we've seen them, just because of all the stuff that happens. He hasn't been able to fly. His wings are pretty much just bones and flesh now. He hardly has any feathers. But when he is dead on the floor, he has quite a bit of plumage. Like, a lot more. Which indicates that maybe this isn't our Cass. Castiel, because his death parallels with how he killed Billy. Cass is going to come back as Death, and he's going to be the cosmic consequences, because they haven't really dealt with that so far. At first I thought it was like Dagon was cosmic consequences, but it doesn't quite seem like cosmic. I hope to God that he is not a Reaper, because I don't want poor Cass to have to do that. And my initial thought was that Jack is gonna bring Cass back. Most obvious option would be that. He gave that little smirk at the end to throw everyone off, but most obvious theory is that, which makes me feel like they're not going to do that because like there's no build up there. I think that the peaceful world is total bull, but maybe he'll save Cass. They mentioned God in this episode when talking to Lucifer, which hasn't happened in a while, which makes me think that maybe we're going to get an appearance by Chuck, like easing us back into that. They don't want it to be like random. It's like, oh, Chuck's back. Now we've got a whole bunch of leaks and actors tweeting that it isn't as well, to kind of calm everyone down, which is good because it hit hard on some of us. We don't all have very stable minds. Jared spoiled that Cass is going to be in episode number 16, the Scooby-Doo thing. Oh my god, maybe it's the ghost of Cass. Oh my god, what if that's the monster they have to fight? Oh my god, okay. The catastrophic way that they could royally screw up would be if they use this as a way to discredit the profound bond between Dean and Castiel. That would be confirming that this was indeed queerbaiting And it would be really bad if they use this as an excuse to get original Cass back. So Cass is still alive, but he and Dean aren't together. This would be the worst way that they could deal with this. So next season is the 13th season. Dean gives Castiel his favorite 13 Zeppelin songs. In this scene, there are 13 words exchanged. 13 is a number that keeps coming up, and I personally think that Castiel is going to return on the 13th episode. See if that happens. That would be great, you know? That'd be great. Then again, we have half a season again without our cast. That is the 16th episode, which means it's after the 13th, so my theory could still work. I do not think that Castiel's story is over. While Crowley's seems kind of like finished, it kind of gives me peace. Castiel's does not. He has not acted himself. While we had some amazing Castiel moments, he still has not been there, and it just does not feel like the end of his character, which leads me to believe that it is not. There is no way that they're going to end it, because Misha and Castiel is such a big part of the story now. This isn't the end for him. People are constantly coming up with new theories. So by the time this video is up, I bet there will be like 5 more. So we'll just talk about them in the comments and stuff, you know, because I don't think I can make another video, but we'll see. I'm scrolling through trying to find all of the theory stuff that we were talking about, and it's just like cockles, cockles, cockles. Because of all that underwear stuff. If you haven't heard about that, boy, check out the Jensen and Misha panels.